Algebra 2, Module 3, Lesson 17. Graph the function f of x equal to log sub or base 3 x without using a calculator. Okay, let's do that. F of x, and that equals log base 3 of x. Okay, so read it correctly. If we plug in 1 for x here, that is log sub 3, 1. So to what power of 3 is 1? 0. 3 to the power of 0 is 1. So let's do log sub 0. And, what else could we do here? Let's do 3. We could do that one. To what power of 3 is 3? 1. Now, I would do log sub 3 to the I guess we could do 9. To what power of 3 is 9? That would be what? 2. Okay. Let's graph these. Now, can y be 0? Can that f of x be 0? Can the y be 0? Yes. Okay. We have the y 0. Can the x be 0? Can the x be 0? When I'm talking about graphing this. So to what power of 3 can you get an answer to equal 0? When you have a base of 3, what power can you raise that to equal 0? No. 3 to the 0 power is 1, but I want to know what can we get to answer to get the 0? Like, to what power can we have? This is the whole reason why you can't have a 0 or a negative number. Okay? It has to be greater than 0. So that means we're not going to touch this y-axis because x cannot be 0, right? So we have 0, 1. Now you need to know how to write that though. X is 1 and the y is 0. Remember, f of x is y. That is our y. Okay? So we have 1, 0. Then we have 3, 1. So over here, go 3 to 1. And then we have 9, 2. 9, 2. So if we were to do that, if we were to draw this, remember it's going to approach the 0, but it will never touch it. Okay? So that's what that's going to look like. Now, let's talk about it because it wants to identify its key features. Well, what do we talk about key features? Anybody remember? We got domain, range, and then we talk about end behaviors. We'll just say ends. And then we have, what else? What's the other main thing? What's the other main thing when we're talking about graphs? Think about when we're solving for anything. When we solve for x, what is that? It's the x-intercept, right? So let's talk about intercepts. Now, what is the domain? What's the domain? The x. So what is the x here? Is it going to be 0? So how you would write that is you would include it. But since it's in a parentheses, it doesn't count 0. So when it's in parentheses, when instead of having, okay, so it's 0 to positive infinity, right? So if it would have been a bracket like that 0, it would have included 0, right? But we're not including 0 here. Everybody understand that? When it's a bracket instead of parentheses, it's including. Okay? Now, what is the range? The range is the y, right? So, what is it? It will be all real numbers. Because it's going to continue increasing, going up on the right side, and it's going to approach negative infinity at 0. Okay, it's never going to get there. So, end behaviors. So let's go as x approaches 0. What happens? Y approaches what? Negative infinity. I just said that. Okay. As the x value approaches 0, the y value is approaching negative infinity. All right. We also have to talk about it in the other direction. As x approaches positive infinity, what does y do? It's also going to approach positive infinity, right? It's going to gradually keep going up like that. Now the x-intercepts. Well, I'm sorry, not the x-intercepts, but what is the x-intercept? X-intercept is 1, right? Crosses at the 1. What's the y-intercept? There is no y-intercept. Remember, it approaches it, but it will never cross it. It will never touch it. And then most of the time, it will tell you to give us a point, like a critical point, a specific point, and I would probably just say like 3-1. Just give us something that it passes through. 3-1. That's it. That's all you need to know. Does anybody have questions about that?